So I'm Angely Bouillot. I just turned today 35. You please. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to see that there are more girls. I'm finally not alone. It's helped me a lot to push myself also again, because maybe I will stop earlier, you know. But now since you coming, you helped me to push myself and try to go even more extreme and stuff like that, you know.
My name is Zara Hoograat. I'm 29 years old and I'm from the Netherlands.
Ruben Lenten. I'm 34 years old and I'm from the Netherlands.
Alessa Sophia Mensch. I'm from Germany and I'm 24 years old.
Janek Grzegorzewski. I'm from Poland.
Jasmine Cho. I'm 31.
Yeah, women's big air kiting has definitely upped its pace over I think the past 2-3 years, and especially this year. I think it's all in the mind. As soon as the mind knows something is possible, it's easier to achieve. And the ladies have been stepping up to their game, and it's really looking good. Like they're going over 20 meters now, really pulling the sick mega loops with rotations as well, with board offs even. You see Mika, she comes from the freestyle background, and she just copies any big air trick and lands them right away. So it's really amazing to see her step up to that as well and really enjoy the big air discipline. And then Angie, she has been going big for a decade already and really hucking them mega loops. So yeah, I think now more girls are seeing that as well and really putting the time in scoring the right conditions. Yeah, girls are traveling specifically for this discipline and are really enjoying it. So everybody's pushing each other, and that's seeming to pay off.
I think the history, generally with women kiteboarding, I feel like the guys were always way more ahead. But right now, we are starting to see that the women are actually pushing way more. Well, Angely, riding-wise, she's very powerful riding. She's, I think, one of the only girls actually that has a really powerful riding style. Like no other girls is going as fast on the kicker as she's, for example, approaching. You can see that she is going full on that kicker, 100% commitment. And there's no other girl that is doing as extreme loops as she is. Literally no one. Even Mika with all her rotations, she's so far away from the extremity that Angely is doing. So that's why Angely is just always like, ho, ho, ho. You know, she's always so funny. Always so funny. How are you?
Progress in women's big air is actually something that really fascinates me. Within the last 2 years, I would say, women have started pushing it really hard.
I started kiting like 5 years ago. So for me, it's always a bit like, I don't really know all the stuff that happened before, and I'm still learning a lot. Like I'm still meeting people that are such legends in the sport that I never heard about, which sometimes I'm a bit ashamed of. But I guess I'm still learning, and I think Angely, for most of the women, is a very big inspiration because she's like the first woman that went like fucking huge, does kite loops with rotations. I think she was the first woman that landed like a laid back boogie kite loop board off, and yeah, she just goes so high. So I think it's super inspiring for me and also for other women. And now a lot of girls are like starting to push. I think it's also because of the bigger kite league, like the competitions are here, so they have like a reason to push. Everybody wants to win, so I think there's still a big future for women big air, but the beginning has started. I think it's just the adrenaline that kicks in when you are driving or walking towards the beach and the sand is like blowing up and you feel the wind in your hair and in your face, and starting to get nervous, starting to feel these butterflies in my stomach, and then once I hit the water, like, it's magic.
Women in big air history, I think that it's still quite young. There was Angely, and she was, the one who got into Coda. She was been in Coda twice. She's the only female to ever have been in Coda. She definitely, you know, was sending it, deserved to be there. And for me, she is like the history. There really wasn't anyone else for a while. She was like the only female really pushing big air. You know, obviously there's Gabby who got the record, and she held it for a couple years. That was also super inspiring. But for me, I think really the first person and the person who really comes to mind is Angely, who was the one like throwing big loops and doing, you know, rotations with loops early on, and really is like the mother of big air in my opinion.
I started skiing after I became artist, after I have a lot of stuff going on, but more in artistic life. And after, I don't know why, one friend tell me, you should try to kite a bit more. So yeah, you sure? Okay. And after I start to continue and start to land my jump and stuff like that. And I saw an old video from King of the Air from Cape Town and said, what is that? And I didn't understand also why there was no woman. So I said, let's go check. You know, I don't know, I had a feeling I have to go in Cape Town and see what's happening here. And I think it started at this moment when people saw me, you're a woman and you make kite loop? Wow, I said, what? Well, what?
Yeah, like I grew up in the countryside, so I was always outside and playing and swimming and climbing and this kind of things. And yeah, I think when I was very young, it was like kind of a mix between boys and girls because we were all playing together. And then once I was, how do you call it, when you're like in your teenage years, I was hanging out more with the boys, I think. Less drama.
I was in my childhood always playing with the boys, and now I feel like I found girls who are on the same page, and it's actually so nice because, like, sure, when I'm training with my boyfriend or other guys, they are just so good, and you feel like, oh, it's so easy. It looks so easy. They make it look so easy. Even you, Mike, like you go out there, just pull a huge laid back, and I'm like, should I lube? Should I not lube? It's really so strong. So if you're with the girls, you feel like, okay, they're really badass. Like they really send it, and like they only can be cool. Like.
Yeah, and then in high school, I switched from going to like a church school to going to a public high school. And that's when I really started focusing on sports. Like my first year in high school, I was on the swim team, and then found track and field, and that's where I really just kind of excelled. And track was like, ended up being like my main focus. I ran all 4 years, ended up being like captain 2 years, and then that track was kind of like the thing that actually got me into college. I was super focused on track in high school. All the other sports I was doing for other seasons was purely to keep me in shape so that I would be in the best shape and condition I could be for track season. I won state my last 2 years of high school, and you know, ended up getting recruited to go to college for track. So that was like the thing that I was really focused on.
Yeah, it was quite long. I think I accept after my third attempt or something like that. I'm not sure if they take me for my level or because I was a woman and it was cool to have the first woman on the King of the Year, you know? So I'm not sure about that, but yeah, it was like, I think I make 3 attempts to get in.
I'm riding the XR7 from Corp. Because I just really love this kite to jump high. I also tried the other kites from Core, but the main reason I'm riding the XR because you go super high with it, and that's what we all want, right?
I think, yes. I'm always scared, and also maybe sometimes I miss some pushing, you know? So, like here, I'm a bit sad because I didn't manage to really learn new tricks. I didn't really try that much. But yes, for sure, you always think about, oh, and if I do that and I do that, but you know, you're always scared about trying new things that you don't know. But it's life.
I'm trying to get the kite loop board off consistent now, but it's very hard because you always have to adapt to the conditions. So the conditions in Brazil on flat water and like very steady wind are so much different than here with the kickers and the waves. And one day it's like 20 knots, the other day it's like 40 knots. So you take a different kite, it loops different, like all the things that come with it. But definitely I want to land a boogie board off once. I'm still not very close yet to doing a boogie with one hand. It fucking scares me so much, but yeah, it's not impossible. So I'm gonna go for it for sure once I'm ready.
Like for me, I don't know if other women share this, but I'm sure they do. I enjoy being pushed out of my comfort zone. I enjoy, the process of being scared and acknowledging that I'm scared and overcoming that fear and, pushing myself to then like try a new trick or land that new trick. Because, when you're going for something new, it is incredibly scary. And that feeling for me and that stoke when I land a new trick it actually comes from me overcoming that fear, and that's what I love. And I'm sure other ladies also, have that same feeling of acknowledging the fear and then, having that passion to overcome it.
I started to actually, in Brazil, for the first time in my life, really train, like just think about one trick and do it over and over again until I get it. And kind of also push away my fears because it's just a kitesurf mecca, like you crash, it doesn't hurt most of the time.
I think it's gonna be hard, huh? Because I'm sure maybe, I don't know, Mikael Isol gonna, I think, really be really good and she can really push it, but the men like right now took a really, really high level, so I think it's gonna be hard to be on the first division.
I think the boundary, I think it's just putting in the hours. I think all the women in the sport are still pretty fresh in riding strong conditions, and it is pretty intimidating to ride those conditions, so it just takes a lot of time to feel really comfortable in it. But once they know how to read the conditions properly and really feel strong in their body and especially in their mind, I think, yeah, anything is possible for them as well, and it's just going to be on the same level.
Now, women's kitesurfing is finally starting to get to the level that it should, because there is still the difference, in my opinion, but I feel like the difference is becoming smaller and smaller. I believe doubles are also going to be in the game in not that long. I know Zara is preparing for it, and I'm actually feeling quite positive about it because Core is coming up with some new toys. But I just don't like doubles that much. It's literally like going for depth. I just hope, like truly I hope that this difference I was talking about is going to become like this. Like literally that there's going to be no difference, which is in some other sports.
I have some good dream to realize. Still, I have a lot, so I'm happy to go on it. I think for me, age is just a number, Just now, I have to take care more on my body, I have to do more sport. I have to really work on my body that I did less before, And I think it depends what you want, but the age is not just a number, If you still want to push it, you can do it whatever, which age you want, People make a barrier with age. You say, I'm old, nah. No, you can still stay young on your head, It depends what you have on your head. I met some people that are 20 years old and they fucking look 50 years old, So for me, age is just a number. It just depends what you want.
Yeah, to all the girls out there kiting hard, believe in yourself and visualize and just put your mind to it and you will become it. So really enjoy your sessions and stay safe out there. See you in the air.